Welcome to this 88K model railroad video, and this is a field fix for the HO transfer table by Walthers. It's the Cornerstone 933-3131 kit. It's been a while since I posted, and what ended up happening is the rock rail schedule video was supposed to be next. And as I was mapping that video out, I realized that I didn't have any other destinations other than stations. That kind of led me into looking at the transfer table and the turntable because those are destinations, the shops that are on the other side of the transfer table, and then the roundhouse at the turntable. Because I use, or all my demos are set up in N scale, I didn't have a N scale transfer table, but I do have this older HO transfer table that's kind of problematic. And what I thought is that I would go through this, do the field fix, learn about this particular transfer table, and use portions of it to create an N scale transfer table. So that's kind of how this all kind of cultivated into a different video, and I thought I would release this video so you guys would at least know that I'm still working on things and that I want to get that rock rail schedule done. So what we're going to do is go through, look at this transfer table in this video, and I'm going to take you all the way up to the point of where I'm going to do the fix, and I'll get the second video released as soon as I get everything done or get this transfer table working. So let's take a look at some of the issues that people were complaining about. So this particular kit, they had problems with the instructions. There were issues with the weight of the bridge. Then the bogies also would not track correctly on the table. There's no indexing. The power pickups can be problematic. This is also just a DC system, but we're going to upgrade it, or actually I did upgrade this to DCC. And then there's some install difficulties in actually placing the table onto your layout. And I'm going to address that in the third video because we're going to do a full install. And I've installed one of the other transfer table, actually the good one, the DCC one. That's, I think, the 933-2869, I think is the number. That's the $300 unit. So, and I'm going to take the experience and the knowledge that I did on that install and bring it to this one. And then we'll be able to also use it for the N-scale version that I'm going to build. So with that, let's take a look at the kit and see what's inside the box. Okay, I don't have a new kit because mine is actually assembled, but here's some of the images that you can kind of see what's in the kit. And this is a full build-up. There's two-part numbers. There's the 3131, which is the turntable unit itself, and then the 3132, which is an extension. You can find these tables online on eBay, but they come and go. You'll see a rash of them and then you won't see them, and then next thing you know there's another rash of video of these kits. And a lot of people complain about them, but I think if you address some of the issues or the shortcomings in the kit itself, that it can be a reliable turntable or transfer table. The biggest issue that I found is the assembly. And even on my unit, I could have assembled it a lot better with more knowledge, or with the knowledge that I have today. This unit, I think I put together maybe 2012 time frame, somewhere around that time frame. So this is sat on the shelf for a while, but now we're going to get use out of it. So let's take a look at my unit itself. This is my transfer table here in the image, and I've got issues as well. On my table, the light post is broken. I did have ground covering inside the table, and I removed it. And fortunately, that removal kind of left it in a state where it looks like it's old concrete. So I'm going to leave that as is. It has a it has a better look to it. The rails are off, and the decoder that I installed in here is a Digitrax decoder. It's like the DZ 123 or 125. And then my bridge rails are not glued down. But I've gone through and did some modifications, or not modifications, but the installation of the transfer table, and I'm getting it into a ready condition for me to start to do the fixes. So let's take a look at where I'm at now. Okay, let's talk about the current state of the transfer table. Now I'm in the R&D phase. The transfer table is actually put back together, but what I want to do is to talk about some of the things that I did and what I'm going to address. The rail installation, I found some stuff that's really good, and it's the Loctite, and it's vinyl, fabric, and plastic. It's a flexible adhesive, and it works really well. And I did put the track down, or not the track, but the rails down at one time. I put the original code, I think 70 rails in, which were too short. And I changed it, and I pulled them out, and I installed the code 83. And this glue, it's strong enough, and it's pliable where it will grip and hold the rail, but then you can also peel and pull the rail up. And the image that you see here, it's how I actually applied it. So I put little bubbles along the length of the rail, and it would actually look like the spikes. You know how the spacings of the way you would do the spikes, but the not as close, but in intervals. And what you want it to do is, as you place the rail in, it will squish the adhesive around, and when it hardens, it'll hold it down similar to a spike. So this stuff works really well, and I think I'm going to use it for the rest of my rail install. So I wanted to show you guys that. So now let's look at the rail installation itself. You can see here I took 18 gauge solid wire, and I cut them about maybe a half an inch in length, and I soldered them onto the rails. So this would give me the ability to slide it into the little holes that you drill on the plate, and it gives me something to solder the wire to. And you can see I've got the terminal block and then the wires hanging here. And next, what I did was I used a hot glue gun, and I made a base around these pins. And what I'm going to do is, or what I did was, I bent them at a 90-degree angle, and the hot glue would actually lock it in place. But if you were to push down on it, or any type pressure, it wouldn't push the rail up or out of the slot. So the hot glue acts as a means of support. and then here you could see I soldered them all together, and that's how the bottom of it is wired. Flipping the transfer table back over, we can see the decoder that I installed. It's the Digitrack, I think DZ125. I think I'll be changing it to a Loc decoder, but I'll do that in the next video. The operational test I made was pretty good. I was able to put a couple of weights onto the bridge and then move it back and forth. But what I did find was the root problem of this particular transfer table, or the bridge itself. The wheels do not make contact with the rails, and the gear drive is too small. So that's what creates a lot of the problems, in that the gear is support or carrying the weight of the bridge, and the wheels of the bogies do very little. Now what I'm going to do in the design phase, or the redesign, I'm going to increase the diameter of the wheels so it will take or bear some of the, or most of the weight or load from the gears, and then have the gears mesh just enough for it to create the lateral movement. So there's very little tolerance in the height difference of the gear and the wheel itself. But I think if we dial that in, then the weight of the bridge will be on the bogies, and then the gears will have to work probably half as much in order to just move the bridge laterally. So I'm going to do that and try to get it dialed in, and that's going to be part 2 of the video. It may take me a while because I'm going to have to make the wheels for the bogies and the gears myself. Now, I did go through the process and measure the pinion, and those are the little teeth on the edge, and this particular set is, I think, 1.461 millimeters apart. And the guys will complain that the bridge will start to skew a little bit, and the reason that it's skewing is the gears are not aligned, so the teeth have to be exactly aligned, where as it rotates, when it goes into the tooth of each gear, it's in sync. If one's a little bit higher or retarded than the other, then it's going to cause the left side to go faster than the front side, and it'll just continue to that difference in space will just continue to add as long as the bridge is moving, and then at a certain point it'll get so skewed that it'll pop out of the track. So I think I think I got the problem addressed or identified, and now it's just making the pieces to validate and then see if it is a true fix. So with that said, I'm going to end the video. I'm not for sure when I'm going to get these pieces made, but I will be doing it in the next few days. So it may take me about a week or so to get everything done. So until then, like, subscribe, and we'll talk to you guys later.